What up, earthlings? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, my name is Marin and welcome. How's it going, my loves? I know it's been a while since I uploaded. I apologize. I'm back and here we are. So today I wanted to make a video about self-love again. I know I already have a couple videos on this, but it's just something that I keep wanting to talk about because it literally shapes your life. How you feel about yourself is going to shape the world around you. How you feel within is going to project the world around you, and it's really going to affect the way that your life is and the things around you that are happening and the people coming into your life, the situations, circumstances. Everything starts with how you are feeling about yourself within. If you haven't seen my other videos on how to practice self-love, I will link them down below. Definitely check them out. There's a lot of good pointers in there. But today I wanted to talk about a couple things that I have not talked about yet. I just feel like I needed to make another video because especially the world that we're living in right now with Instagram and social media and everything online, like we are always taught to compare ourselves to others. And it starts from a really young age, you know, in school. Who's going to be the top student? Who gets the gold star? Who's the student of the week? And then you go into your job and it's who's the employee of the week, and it's constantly like who's gonna get the raise, who's gonna get moved up in their job, who's gonna get to the top, who can be better, who excels. We're constantly taught to compete with one another instead of really focusing on what we are individually good at and pursuing that and excelling in that, finding our own individual strengths and really focusing on that. And that's just something, unfortunately, that we are not really taught in this day and age. Out of all the things that have changed, look at vehicles and buildings and technology and everything that has shifted in the past 100 years. But what has stayed the same? The schooling systems. And it's all about that competitive mindset. So especially now with Instagram and people's lives look like they're perfect through a phone screen. With all of this comparison going around, it really takes a toll on us, and it really takes a toll on loving yourself. And if you constantly are sitting there comparing your life to somebody else who you don't even know, they could be really sad and depressed and miserable for all you know, yet they're posting all these things and you're comparing them and you're like, well, I'm not living as good of a life as they are, or they seem so much more happier, or like I want their relationship. You don't know what happens behind closed doors. So try not to compare your life to people online. I know I'm guilty of doing it. I'm sure that you have done it a time or two as well. So I'm not saying that I still don't do that, because I'm human and I'm not gonna lie. I do get down about myself every now and then, like we all do. But in this video, I want to talk about a couple techniques that can really help you and that I've been practicing over the past couple months. And I think that they can really help you as well. So one of the first things I want to talk about is called the 2-cup method. Now, if you look this up, you can find a ton of other videos on this. So I'm not going to go like super in depth about it. I'm just going to talk about like what it does. Just so this video isn't super duper long, I'm trying to make them more short and sweet for you. Unless you guys like long videos, let me know which you prefer, because it's all about you, and I really appreciate and respect your feedback, so let me know about that. Anyways, so the 2-cup method. So what you need for this is 2 cups, some water, and 2 pieces of paper. So on one of the pieces of paper, I want you to write something that you feel like you would like to change, or maybe you feel stuck. So, or maybe it's like a job that you want that you don't have, or maybe it's a personality trait that you're trying to change. So say you're trying to be a happier person, and so on one piece of paper you're gonna write all of the negative feelings that you feel like you have within. So you'll be like, I am impatient, I am angry, I am not kind, I am fill in the blank. You're gonna put that next to 1 cup. On the other piece of paper you're gonna write down what you want to attract, or what you want to manifest, or the type of person or trait that you would like to have. So you, in this instance, would write, I am a happy person, I am patient, I am kind, I am blah 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 blah. you are going to fill the first cup of water with the negative things that you wrote down. You're going to fill that up. Then you are going to focus on that negative piece of paper. You're going to read what it says and you're going to focus on that for a couple minutes. Now you're going to switch your mindset and focus on the other cup, and you're going to focus on the other piece of paper. So take a few minutes to really focus on the positive piece of paper and what you want to attract into your life. And take that water from the negative piece of paper and pour it into, by the way, the positive cup will be empty. Pour it into the positive cup. And as you're pouring it, really, really think about the positive things that you wrote down and really watch that cup being filled. So be mindful. See that the negative cup is being empty and that you are filling up the positive cup. After you do that, again, take a couple minutes and think about the positive things that you wrote down. And then you're gonna drink that glass of water. And again, as you're drinking it, be very mindful and think, yes, I am putting this positive liquid into my body. You guys, I'm not kidding that this works for anything that you are trying to manifest. It really does work, and it may sound silly, but I mean, our bodies are almost all water, right? So water really has an effect on us. If you're familiar with the doctor who does all the studies on water, like if you talk to water in a negative way and if you talk to it in a positive, loving way, and then they freeze it, like the snowflakes are so beautiful on the positive side, and then the water on the side where they're saying negative things doesn't even like form a pattern at all. So the power of water in your body when you do this method, it really truly does work. You can also do this with just one glass of water, which is something I also used to do that I learned from Teal Swan. She has a video where she talks about just focusing on a glass of water and putting all of these loving emotions into it. So say if it's hard for you to come up with loving thoughts about yourself, think of a family member, a child, you know, your child, your pet, something that's going to bring you into that state of love, and just keep staring at that water and like focusing all this positive loving energy into that water for a couple minutes, and then you drink that water. And she said when she first started doing that, like her body was rejecting it at first because it just was not used to self-love. But that was proof right there that it was working. And she said she just cried and cried and cried the first time that she did this because she had all this loving energy literally coursing through her body from drinking that glass of water. So that's another thing you can do. I've tried them both and I've manifested things into my life with both methods, and I think that they're amazing. Now, I don't do them as often as I should, but I want to get back into the habit. But think if you did that every day, the types of changes you could really make in your life. So the next one I want to talk about also may seem silly. It also may seem too simple to actually work. But that's the thing about it, guys. Like, the simple things in life really isn't supposed to be that hard. And the simple things are what really works and are what's true in the universe. Sometimes it's the most simplest things that can make the biggest difference in our lives. So the next one that I'm going to talk about is the mirroring technique. So basically this is where you sit in front of your mirror, no other distractions around, and you stare at yourself in the eyes. And at first this can be really uncomfortable and you might laugh at yourself and it just kind of feels silly and awkward, but you're gonna stare at yourself in the eyes and you're just gonna keep repeating, I love you, I am enough. I love you, I am enough. You can say your full name in there as well, but just keep saying, I love you, I am enough. When I first tried this technique, it was really awkward. It was really hard for me to even look myself in the eyes and say those words. So at first I started laughing. I felt kind of embarrassed. Even though I was by myself, I was embarrassed and I felt silly. So I finally worked up the nerve to say, I love you, Marin. And I kept saying it over and over. And I kid you not, the first time I did this, I started bawling, uncontrollably bawling my eyes out. And it wasn't like a sad cry. It wasn't necessarily a happy cry. I just felt this intense release. And it was like, my soul and my higher self were just like waiting my entire life for me to like say those words to myself, because I honestly had never looked in a mirror and said that. look yourself in the eye, sit down and do this for a couple minutes a day, and I seriously am not kidding when I tell you it will have a very big impact on the self-love that you have for yourself. So as I mentioned, when you're doing this, you say, I love you, I am enough. That's the next thing I want to talk about. So I've been listening to Marissa Peer lately. She is so amazing. I put her up there with Abraham Hicks, Wayne Dyer. You know, she has definitely shifted my paradigm, and I'm just so grateful I stumbled across her videos, and I will link her video down below about the topic I'm gonna discuss. So what she talks about is every illness, depression, disease, you know, all these negative things that we experience as humans. She has a theory that it's a deep-rooted feeling of not being enough. And that goes back to what I was talking about earlier in my video. Like, we're constantly comparing ourselves to other, trying to climb this social ladder from literally the time we are very, very young. So, of course, we all have this deep-rooted feeling like we're not enough. And that really manifests in a lot of different negative forms in the body. And I totally believe everything that she talks about. So, this one little simple thing, and I only started doing this about a week ago, but I'm not kidding. Within that week, I started making double my tips at work. People started coming up to me all over the place, just randomly, giving me random compliments. I felt a better shift in my mood. It was just like, and I've only started doing this for a week. So what she says to do is all around your mirrors in your house, write, I am enough. So I just took some paper on all my mirrors and I wrote, I am enough on all of my mirrors. So when I'm brushing my teeth in the bathroom, I see it. When I'm getting ready for work, I see it. I also put one on my fridge and on my sliding glass door, you know, because I use my fridge and my door every day, multiple times a day. I'm always seeing it, and already within a week, I have been seeing these positive changes. Like, you guys have to try this. She has such a good seminar that I watched, and she just makes everything so simple. She's like, listen, all it is we don't feel like we're enough. And that is the root cause of almost every single depression and illness in the body, is because we don't think we're enough. When you start telling your body you're enough, that's all it wants to hear. I mean, if you think about it, and this quote was in the movie A Wrinkle in Time, which I just watched. Great movie, highly recommend it. It's totally like all about this kind of stuff. Mrs. Which, who is played by Oprah, says something along the lines of, do you know the sequence of events that had to occur since the birth of the universe for you to be born exactly the way you are? And she said that, and I was just like, even saying it now, I like, it gives me goosebumps and it makes me teary-eyed, because like, really think about it. Like, wow, that is so amazing and true. From the dawn of the birth of the universe, all the tiny little things that have happened led to you being born exactly the way you are. There is nobody else on this planet except you. That is your power. We are like snowflakes. There's not one that's the same. And we are just constantly taught to try and go in this box and be like everybody else, when our souls want so bad for us to be different. Because that's the beauty. We are the universe experiencing itself in billions of different meat suits. Nobody else has the meat suit, the mind, the personality, anything that you have. Not one other person. I don't care if you're an identical twin, you're still different. And that's a miracle if you think about it. So we need to learn to stop comparing ourselves to everybody and excel in the one thing that we have, and that's being yourself. Being yourself is so powerful and precious because nobody else can be it but you. So we need to step into our skin and start becoming who we were meant to be. And we can't do that if we're constantly trying to be somebody else. It just doesn't work that way. Don't ever forget that nobody is you, and that is your power. Own it. Be you. Your higher self and the universe and your spirit guides and God, whatever you want to call it, wants you to be you. Follow your passion. Follow what you excel in, what sparks your soul, what makes you want to get up in the morning. Do that. Don't try to be somebody else because you're not anybody but you. So those were just a couple things I wanted to talk to you guys about. Please try them. If you do and I know you will, have success, please let me know your stories down below. I love hearing about success stories. I love hearing that these things, tips and tricks works for you guys. It's why I make these videos. Thank you so much for watching, by the way. I mean, this is why I make these videos, because I just want to show people and help people and teach people things that we are not taught in school. And it's a shame because we are so powerful, and yet so many people don't use their powers and tap into them because they are worried too much about other people. So I hope this video helps somebody out there. It means the world to me if I can help even one of you. So thank you guys so much for watching. To all my lovers out there, I send you love and light. And to all my haters out there, I send you extra love and light and many hugs. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.